Okay, welcome. I am still Michael A. Jackson, and thank you for tuning in. You have a bazillion choices for vlogs and electronics and all that stuff, but you came here, and I deeply appreciate that. And I would deeply appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the videos. Now, back to work. I was going to, no lie, film on this guy today. Nice Dad goes on and on about these things on his show, and I got a bunch of them. I got this one, I got a couple chargers, I got this one too, I got that one, I got this one, I think there's another one. But they're cheap, you can get them anywhere. But I wanted to film on it. But the battery's dead, so we're filming on this. And what this is my Canon EOS Rebel T3 APS-C sensor with the kit lens. I've never used this kit lens, and there's another YouTuber who goes on about kit lenses and how good they can be. So since I've never used one, either for when I was doing photography or never when I was doing video, I'm going to give it a shot, see what it looks like. I have disassembled this lens that you're looking through right now. I have disassembled, scratched the living daylights out of the lens, and it came scratched, and then I just made it worse trying to take it apart, figure out how it works, because I wasn't taking apart any of the other nicer lenses. But let's see how it works. Alright, so I was going to film on this, but the battery's dead, so I'm going to film on this next time. Is that nice daddy? Is that nice daddy enough? Hold on. Anyways, a big thank you to Mr. Neistat. Really. And everybody like him. Especially that technology nerd who likes to film stuff. But Mr. Neistat was a huge influence and inspiration. Not so much influence, but inspiration. Because he's he and I'm me. This has got to go back. Anybody want to trade batteries? I have about 15 of those batteries. I'm going to be real quiet for a second. Hang on a second. Going to be real quiet for a second. This is the DJI Osmo in all its gloriousness. I love this thing. This is what I film everything on. And it's part of what we're going to talk about today. But before, I wanted to film this before I send it back because it may be months before I see it again. Not cool. Not cool. In my years of mechanical experience, I would say that there's probably a nut or a bolt about at this point that holds this assembly on, and it is somehow come loose. And it has gotten worse every time that I use it, which means it's probably spinning loose. I wish I could get to it myself. Unfortunately, there's no way in there, because I would have just fixed it myself. Dealing with DJI tech support, it'll make you want to cut your wrists a long way. And I'm saying that in the nicest possible way, DJI, because you make awesome equipment. But your turnaround repair time and your phone tech support, a little bit to be desired. But I love your product so much. Even if you weren't the only game in town, DJI, I would still go with it because of how good it is. So, like with anything else in life, you have to make compromises. Let's make a compromise. I'm going to be happy with my DJI Osmo, and maybe by the time They sent it to me. Maybe there'll be an Osmo Mobile 2 or some Osmo 3 that holds those X7 lenses, full frame. Because I've never liked the DSLR. The DSLR is a photography machine, not videography. It doesn't stable. It doesn't do. It's not flexible. It looks like a camera. It's long, it's heavy, and it's pretty darn ridiculous. And it's shaky as crap. So the camera is not for video. Yes, it does video. But this is for video. This is for video. And since I've made the jump from still photo to video, let me tell you how much better this is than a DSLR. The flexibility, live stream, instant editing, instant changes, instant storage, and I can make phone calls on it. It can tell me a map. Everything that my camera can't do, this does, and does even better with this. Anyway, I want to do this in one take 'cause I'm not editing. I hate editing. But I got an editing guy, so we're going to take care of that. There's two things I want to cover today. Let me make sure this thing is still straight and recording because I just hit it. Yep. Still, oh, I did it again. Alright, I want to know if this area is washed out. I couldn't get that to resolve with this camera. There's two things I want to take care of in this video. Two things I want to talk about. One, the Banannapod from the earlier vlog, from last week's vlog with the parachute guy. And two, getting older, my new camera. Oh, I got a new camera, folks, and it is so good. It is so good to have a new camera. To me, cameras are like a normal guy views women. Oh. Okay, it got weird there for a second. Listen closely. Alright. We'll do the Banannapod first. Talk quietly amongst yourselves. This, my friends, is the Banannapod from the earlier video. Have a closer look. Essentially what it is, and I've been a huge proponent of ingenuity, and as well as building your stuff as opposed to buying it. This is a head from a tripod from Goodwill for $8. This is a monopod that I broke accidentally the head off of. I didn't want to, but it did. But thank God for JB Weld. If you are a photographer or videographer and you haven't discovered JB Weld, oh God, are you in for a surprise? I mean that. It is the greatest thing since Banannapods. This is an $8 head from Goodwill. I put a Home Depot nut down in there. JB welded the crap out of it. Put the screws, mounting screws back in to hold it. And I will be putting some test footage I took. I've been testing this thing for months now. Absolute months. The first one was with a, what is that thing? Scooter wheel. Some sort of little scooter wheel. I don't know where it is. But I tested it with a scooter wheel and it was just too bumpy. So I needed something bigger. So I went back to the old Goodwill and the Savers and the thrift stores and I looked around so I could find what I needed. Something bigger with a bigger radius and softer. So this is just your regular run-of-the-mill monopod. I cut off the end, wrapped it in duct tape until I got the desired thickness. And here's the magic. This is a children's bicycle fork and a children's bicycle wheel. There's no air in it because it needs to be as soft as possible. There's maybe a little air in the inner tube, but I don't know, I doubt it. I've never put any air in it, so it works. This is JB Weld. With the scooter wheel, it had a little flange right here that I was able to put this in. With this, I took a threaded bolt, a long threaded bolt, JB welded it against the fork, and then put a long and ultra long threaded rod from Home Depot for $4 into this end piece, screwed it down in, put a lock nut on it, bent it. Bent. And then that was it. And then you take your monopod, slide that sucker in there like that, and this is, if you've ever used a monopod, it is the same problem. When you use a monopod, you can't sit it down anywhere. It doesn't sit still on its own. So it really doesn't sit still with a giant wheel on the bottom of it. I was thinking of Unipod, like unicycle. I was thinking of all these different names, but my son, he came up with the name Banannapod because this part is curved. So Banannapod, whatever, it works. Then you take your Osmo. This is the beauty of it. This nut I got from one of these old cameras. The old cameras had a leather case, and they had an extra nut for a tripod mount, because when it's in the case you can't reach that screw with a tripod. So they did that, and they put this nut into the tripod mount, and then you had an exterior tripod mount nut. So I just took that off of my old little favorite camera and make sure this thing's still recording. This camera has the tendency to stop recording on its own, so you might see a weird edit in this one take. You take your Osmo, you connect, bada bing. Oh, hold on, let's straighten it out. And here's the beauty of it. With the Osmo, no more horizon checks. It could be a little crooked. It could be a little weird. It doesn't matter. Now, you take your phone. This is the Note 8, by the way. The Note 8 in the Osmo. You take the adjuster nut all the way out. You just go all the way out with it. It's a big phone. You tighten it down. Tough to tell which end of the Note 8 is the top. It's very unisex in its build. There's no male end, no female end. It's just phone. And then it balances, just like that. Turn it on. Bingo. Now, when the Banannapod moves, you can set the rate in the Osmo app for your pitch and roll. But when you move with the Banannapod, the phone moves. Oh, hold on, it's not mounted in there. The phone moves with you. So when the Banannapod moves, you keep your horizon you keep your horizon even if the Banannapod is angled. So the options for shot angles, you could be laying on the ground, you could be riding a skateboard, you could be riding a bike, you could be in the back seat of a car holding the Banannapod out of a window and filming while the car is rolling, keeping level at that. So many options. I thought of patenting this thing, but there's really just no... there's a little market for it, but not enough of a market to be even concerned. This is a DIY. This is a do-it-yourself. I love this thing to death. I honestly do. I use it all the time. I use it for all my interior real estate shots. I have an Inspire 2, so I had a severe need to find a different way to film my interior shots. That bird is just too big for the inside. So that is the Banannapod. Awesome. Let me make sure this thing's still recording. Awesome, awesome tool of delivery. Now for the piece of resistance, because it is the chosen one. And it's true because it rhymes. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. It's in the box. It's in the box! Anyway. Oh, so good. It's so good. These are still available brand new on Amazon for 30 bucks. So this one's bad, but I will be getting another one. Are you ready? Here it comes. Oh. The smell of 1985. Just spectacular. Oh my God. This is a Magnafox CVM 320 8:1 power zoom full range autofocus 2 lux low light sensitive CCD imager, flying erasing heads, seamless editing, integrated DC video light preventing low light color loss, auto lock smart edit for effortless and easy operation. Oh. This is scary. The battery doesn't like that. The battery doesn't work, so whatever. This was a high school camera somewhere. Let me tell you how awesome the thrift stores are. Thrift stores are so awesome that they are more awesome than thrift stores. That's how awesome a thrift store is. The charger. Okay? You feel me? Plug in. I don't know how good an idea it is to operate this thing without a battery, so I'm just going to drop that in there. Woo, that's heavy. This is heavier. This is heavier than a DSLR. That's just to give you a reference. This is heavier than your camera by itself without a lens. Probably with a kit lens on, it's probably just as heavy. So I'm going to drop that in there because I don't know about running it without a battery in it. $6 working. Now, where does this fit into a video production company? When you want to get that VHS look for a music video, or a client who's just requesting it, or maybe even a movie shoot, you have a VHS to rent. More money in your pocket. This thing still recording? Yes. Alright. Oh, this is so good. I wish I could show you. I gotta be able to show you the inside of the lens here. There's gotta be a way to do that. Alright. You ready? Listen close. Told you, this thing shuts off on its own. Anyways, I'm going to put up some footage of the monopod in action at the local mall. I pulled focus to hide faces. I wasn't really doing a camera test. The Note 8 does an awesome job at what it does. The only thing it really needs is lenses. I'm going to get lenses. I found a way to get lenses for DSLR lenses for a smartphone. That's coming up in the future here. I'm going to review the Beast Grip adapter, because I believe in the future, and I think that the future is not with DSLRs. I've shot everything with a cell phone. My favorite camera has always been my cell phone. It's always with me. So it's the best camera. The camera that's with you is the best camera. And I've taken some of my greatest shots, film shots, with my smartphone. I take a little grease, put it on the lens, and do some in-camera effects and things like that. But I strongly believe that the smartphones will eventually put these giant old cameras in the can. Look at this. This has been going on for years, decades, since the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it was. It's time for a change. And I believe the Osmo Mobile and those stabilizers will bring about, because the only thing keeping these DSLRs around is because they have full frame sensors and interchangeable lenses. That's it. Once a cell phone gets a multiple lens or a full frame lens, that's the last nail in the coffin for these DSLRs. I don't carry it. I don't shoot with it. I won't shoot with a DSLR. I will shoot with an SLR in a minute. I'll shoot film in a minute because it's a camera. That's what it's supposed to do. But there's no reason for a film camera to look like, for a video camera to look like a film camera. A video camera should look like this. That's it. Maybe even smaller. Maybe even smaller. Anyways, here's some footage of our trip to the mall. This was just walking. There were creases in the floor, so some of that may transfer through. But before I let you go, people do that stupid ninja walk thing with the Osmos. Here's how you fix the shutter shake when, and you saw that mine's wobbles. Mine's has a problem. To fix the footfall shock in your film, all you have to do is this. Walk with the camera like that. If you walk with the camera like that, there is an automatic buffer for every time your foot hits the ground. If you walk with the camera like this, yes, there's no buffer, so it's gonna travel right up through your friggin' lens. So just this. That's all you got to do. Walk like that, and that automatically cancels out most, if not all, of the footfall vibrations in your footage. Here's some footage of the mall. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. That thing is loud. I can still hear it running. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a great night. Is it over? Did you turn the camera off? Okay, it's off. Alright, I can move it now? Alright, I'm gonna move. That thing. How many miles? do in first grade?
We did, in first grade we did a bunch of stuff.
And what? Very carefully. This thing works pretty good. See how low it can go.